What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr. And today we are talking about Out of the Shadows by Justina, Ireland. So this is the young adult novel for Wave 2 of Phase 1 of the High Republic. And honestly, like, Wave 2 has just completely blown me away with how good these books are. And Out of the Shadows is honestly my favorite book that we've gotten so far, and it's probably one of my favorite Star Wars books now. Like, it is up there with Lost Stars. I could not believe how great this story was. I have been dying for Justina Ireland to write YA for Star Wars ever since I found out that she was writing Star Wars. I love her Dread Nation series. I go way back with that series. That was one of like the pivotal books for me when I was like discovering these asexual characters, and I've always been so thankful to Justina Ireland for that. And then with Star Wars, she's always been middle grade, and I'm like, I know she can do more. I know she can do some YA. So when I heard about Out of the Shadows, I was so excited. And this is a story that takes place after the events on Valo. So it does take place after the Rising Storm. So like, if you don't want to be spoiled on like things that happen with that, this book doesn't necessarily spoil it, but it does take place afterwards. And we are following Vernestra Rwoh, which we do know from Justina's first book with High Republic, which is A Test of Courage. We also have Reith Silas, who was in Into the Dark. We have Syl, a brand new character who is amazing. Like, if anybody's a main character in this book, it's her and Vernestra. She was so cool. But then we also have Nan, who is a girl from the Nile, who is also from Into the Dark. And because of that, I would say that this is a sequel definitely to Into the Dark. I would also say it's a sequel to A Test of Courage because of how heavily Vernestra is featured in it. But honestly, it's about Sylvester Yarrow, and she is a holler. Her mother was killed by the Nile, and she kind of gets tangled in with this plot in the Nile, and something weird is going on, like out in the middle of nowhere in space, and she doesn't know how all of a sudden, like, she's got these Jedi running around her, and she's like going out to figure out like the Nile have this weird plot. But she was such an amazing character to anchor everything. And on top of that, we get to explore her sexuality. She has a girlfriend in this book. I love the way their romance is portrayed because they're exes, which is so fun. We haven't gotten to see that too much with Star Wars. And then as far as Vernestra is concerned, Vernestra is finally getting that character development that I've always wanted from her. Like, I know she was introduced in a middle grade, but I'm like, I know she goes deeper. I know there's more to her, and we finally get it in this book, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't stop reading this book. I read it so quickly. The plot itself was amazing. Like, honestly, even if you're just reading the adult novels, or like you're just reading the young adult novels, or you're just needing whatever, like, this is such a pivotal piece of the puzzle when it comes to the Nile, when it comes to the Jedi, when it comes to like things that are gonna happen later. Like, this is a huge part of like the overall picture, and I was so glad to see it portrayed from these like younger perspectives, from these Padawans' perspectives, and they were really given like the complexity and the room to grow that I really knew that they deserved. My only complaint with this book is just that I wish we could have gotten a little bit more of Reith and Nan, because they do have a history. They do meet back up in this book, and I wanted a little bit more of it. But the focus wasn't ever truly on Reith. It was never truly on Comac. But I do feel like since we got to check back in with them, I really do think that like the next book, we're gonna learn more about Comac, like Master Comac, and like how he's been teaching Reith like ever since like we last saw them. And I do think Nan is going to be like even more of a main character in the next YA book. I don't know who's gonna write it. Honestly, I feel like I just want Justina to write all of the YA books now because of how great this one was. But that's my only complaint with it. Otherwise, it's 10 out of 10, amazing. We have another confirmed asexual romantic character in Star Wars, and this one has got me so freaking happy. I'm not gonna spoil it. I don't want to spoil who it is, but I could not be happier with the way this book turned out. So obviously, I'm giving this book an A+. I really recommend it. You've got to go out there. You've got to pick it up. If you haven't been reading the High Republic before this one, I would say at least read Into the Dark and at least read A Test of Courage. Into the Dark is a little bit hard to get through, but I do think you need it because of how it sets up Reith and how it sets up Nan. And then A Test of Courage, you're going to get that Vernestra thrown in there. But I loved it. Please, everybody go read this book. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below. And don't forget to subscribe to talk books with me every week. That is everything got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.